Hey, good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? I wanted to make a video talking about the most recent update in the news regarding Alex Jones and InfoWars. In case you haven't heard, Alex Jones, he recently he was recently banned from numerous media sites, social media, Facebook, Instagram. Hell, even Spotify and iTunes. His podcasts were taken down from both of those, which is strange. But as of right now, the reasons for him being banned has been attributed to hate speech. And I wanted to give a little bit of my take on it. One thing about the social media sites is that, they've recently been on this whole like binge of hate speech. Masses can get together and dictate what is and isn't acceptable. You have outrage culture taking the helm. On one side, you have the conservatives arguing First Amendment, freedom of speech, anti-censorship, and on the other side, on the liberal side, progressive liberal, you have people arguing that this is a good thing, that Alex Jones was spreading fake news, misinformation, inciting violence. Though I do recollect that is inciting of violence is very vague. It's not anything that I would say is too hardcore. But given the definition for progressives, it's a little bit muddled. Just like Alex Jones saying anything related to inciting of violence is muddled. But regardless, Alex Jones is pretty right-wing libertarian, I would say, monarchist, most likely. And he has some pretty outlandish views. But that aside, I don't believe that that's grounds to deplatform him. I get the idea that it's that these are not government entities; they're private entities, and that communication has taken a huge paradigm shift with social media expanding to the degrees it has. In fact, communication and mass communication has never been easier for the individual. However, though, these corporate interests in Silicon Valley tend to lean a lot more in favor of progressives, and corporations nowadays bend the knee to outrage mobs. But I think the problem isn't just left versus right. I think it's as many creators have stated, it's independent versus mainstream media, and I think that's a big note to hit on. Now, regardless of where you sit on the fence, I just want to go ahead and give my 2 cents that freedom of speech should never be impeded. Freedom of thought, freedom of expression, even intolerable ones. I'm not a big fan of, punch a Nazi, and I'm not too sympathetic for when a legit Nazi ethno-nationalist gets punched anyway. It's not like, oh man, I need to defend them, just like I wouldn't be too offended if a communist, like an Antifa communist, got punched. But I do say this, that everyone should have the right to state their ideas, no matter how ludicrous it is. Alex Jones has said some pretty ludicrous things, such as, Sandy Hook's being staged, and many other things that I don't really support. I think it's too tinfoil, and I'm somewhat of a conspiracy guy myself, but I try to make sure it's grounded in reality. However, though, this is not good news, guys. This isn't. This means that this can happen to anyone. This means that independent creators can get shot down, one end by corporate interest and on the other end by mass outrage mobs. And like I said, in this case, I think it's, I think it's corporate interest. Corporations of the old mainstream, old news, are coming together, banding together, and shooting these guys in the foot. They have the money, they have the power, they have the establishment. The only thing they don't have is the views. And that's something Alex Jones has. And before long, they will be replaced. However, though, they're fighting as tooth and fucking nail to get their way, to stay in power. They're envious, they want the old days where they controlled the narrative, not the other way around where the people control it. I think that you know, that regardless of how this goes, I think it's wrong. You know, I think it's wrong that, you know, people can be silenced. You know, it's forcing them into a tunnel to where they have to consume the mainstream. I'm looking at Spotify. I feel like I have to buy back my playlist from Spotify, even if it's just a music streaming outlet. On YouTube, I'm starting to see it become more commercialized. I think even right now, I don't have hardly any subs or anything. I don't hardly post, and it gets even less incentivizing me posting, getting everything buried under the YouTube algorithm. And I'm just watching as, you know, CNN and places like that are becoming more like TV, you know, TV for your phone. Not that that's entirely the worst thing, but it's not, when you put bias in the inclusion, it's not a good sign, especially when CNN, Jimmy Fallon, people like that are being pushed to the top, you know. I was seeing Facebook do it, like literally, like Facebook right now is like labeling things as episodes, you know, like it's like, you know, followed by an advertisement and things like that. Not that advertisement's even the worst thing either, I think, but it's just seeing this direction and then seeing who is getting put at the top. Now there's some people viral that are, you know, from the internet itself, but for the most part it's just becoming another version of TV. And I don't feel too comfortable with it, especially when golden age guys are getting shoved into a box and told to sit down, you know, especially when it comes to political commentary and things like that. You know, it's a very tragic thing watching this go on, and all it does is it proves Alex Jones and his conspiracies are more and more correct when you do this. When you push him into this corner like you're doing, you're not changing his audience's mind, you're reinforcing their values. If they're already conspiracy nuts, and I think there's even psychological studies done on this, you're reinforcing their values. If you want to defeat them, try to defeat them in discourse, you know, like what happened to those days, you know, of refuting arguments, not just getting angry and shutting it down. I mean, there's always been cases of the latter, but like what happened to, you know, sitting there and trying to refute it? If you can't refute it logically, you might as well go ahead and concede. This is not changing anybody's minds. This is making it like this is not doing the things they want to do, but I guess it's just a desperation for power, maybe. I don't know, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work in the long run. And if social media keeps this up, you know, if the mainstream sites do, there will be alternatives, I believe. Like I said, you didn't change his following. All you did was remove the guy's ability to speak. You didn't sway their ideas. You didn't move them any closer to your side, or you didn't move them any closer to your side. You just kind of like left them stranded and told their most vocal member to just go and stuff it, you know. Anyways, just me on a tangent though, but it's just I can't help but to feel, man, like this is not a good thing. And you know, there's so many people covering this right now, and they're all hitting pretty close to point homes. All I want to know is what your guys' take on it. But you know, this is just something that I have to sit down and object to. And I hope that, you know, I hope that they know that at some point mainstream media is going to collapse. They can slow down the progress, but they're not going to keep it halted. Anyways, guys, that's all I got to say on it. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the like button, leave a comment, and until next time, bye.